All right, everybody, what's going on? It's your boy Terry Duran. I'm here with my man Laid Back, or also known as What He Really Means on the gram. What's good, bro?
What's happening?
Not much, man. I'm glad I'm in your city, so we was able to link up, face to face. I see you doing your thing on the gram as far as answering questions, giving females insight or whatnot. So I appreciate, you helping carry the burden. Dealing with in the world of panderism and pandering and all this type of stuff. It's difficult to give an authentic perspective on what men really experience. So I just wanted us to have some time where we could chop it up without having to type and at each other and all that type of stuff, where we talk about some real topics from a real man's perspective. But before we get into that, introduce yourself. Let the audience know a little bit about yourself, age, etc., and your background.
Bet. So, like you said, I'm laid back 38 _, and my advice page is what _he really means. What he really means. 38. I was a F boy for a long time. Well, not a long time as an F boy, but I was F boy for a couple years in my early 19, 20, 21, something like that. After that, I was a player for a long time, from maybe 21 up until my 30s, 30-something, 30, 31. So, and now I'm not either one of those. Now I'm chill. I consider myself a quality man, but I went through that whole stage of all the things that y'all going through right now. So I got a lot of questions about different things about men, so I decided to create my own page, and that's pretty much where I'm at now. Eventually, I'll be doing a book at some point about my life period, but that's later on. So
that's what's up, man.
Yeah.
Like the ambition, and I always love to see people making moves. Let's start off. You mentioned you considered yourself a quality man.
Mm-hmm.
I do too. Let's. What do you mean when you say quality man? How do you define quality man in your eyes?
I take care of my responsibility. I've been in my career since I was 19 years old. So I've been an electrician since I was 19 up until now I'm 38. So I'm real solid in that. Take care of my business, my kid. I became a father at 17, and I, never left since then. My boy is grown now, my
That's
little one.
Fatherhood really matters.
Yeah, so now it's just a difference in how I treat women than how I was as a youngster. You know what I'm saying? I really didn't care a lot about a lot of stuff with women because I was a player. I was doing my thing. Now it's a lot different. You know what I mean? I'm a little older, a little more mature, settled down. You know what I'm saying, with my thinking. So I just think that's what a quality man. You know what I mean? Is how a quality man operate. So
all right. So when I say quality man, I'm talking about a man that obviously makes a significant income to where he can provide for himself and his children if he has them.
Mm-hmm.
All right, that's a basic thing, right? That's not really nothing outstanding, but I consider a quality man to be somebody that most women consider to be handsome or attractive, that most people that actually know him view as husband and father material. You know what I mean? Like somebody where if you tell them you got a baby on the way, they're gonna be like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? Like they not in panic mode. They not worried about the kid's sake, etc. They know that you known for handling your responsibilities.
Right.
I look at it as a man that has codes, principles, and morals that he lives by, so that if he's with a woman or dealing with a woman, she doesn't have to fear him or you know what I'm saying, like be in some type of negative environment. When I'm talking about a man as far as having a family, I'm talking about a man that understands that there are going to be times where he has to put his family's needs above his own wants. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like without having an attitude about it, without, you know what I'm saying? Like there are just certain things that come with being a husband or a father or so the man of the house. You're going to take L sometimes. You know what I'm saying? Your kid's going to wreck the car. You're going to have to pay the deductible. Like stuff's going to happen where you got to take a major L and you didn't have shit to do with it. Mm-hmm. Those are the type of things that exude a quality man. Also, somebody that can a man that gives the woman the opportunity to be able to openly express herself to him without fear of retribution or penalty, etc. You know what I mean? Like, so when I'm talking about a quality man, those are the type of men that I'm speaking of.
Yeah, I like to say balanced, a well balanced man.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? In his
that's a good
thinking
term.
and his actions with whatever it is he do. So,
Right. That's a good terminology. Now, the thing with being a quality man or even a quality people can do things that are wrong or that they shouldn't do.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so being a quality man or a quality woman don't mean that you can never cheat or that you can never do something that causes somebody to break up with you or whatnot. And that's kind of the perspective that I be trying to give. Like, what leads somebody that's actually a good person and has good intentions to make some of these choices or make some of these decisions? Because the way that it gets portrayed in kind of the public is just like, oh, men just cheated out the blue for no reason. And it's like, man, come on, that don't really represent reality.
And he can't be a quality man because he did this or that. Like, quality don't mean you perfect.
Yeah, and
what that mean?
And a lot of times it's the circumstances that a person is dealing with that influence the choices and decisions that they make.
Yep.
You know,
with anything.
And one of the main reasons I created a page where I give the male perspective is because I saw all the pandering going on and the cliches and the fake shit. And I knew that there were not real women that had real context on what it's like for the men that they actually want to be with. Everybody speaks for the fuckboy. Oh, you fuckboys this and oh, you fuckboys that. They never talk about the men that have their shit together, that are making decisions and dealing with certain things. And so I figured, like, man, if women really learned to think how men like us thought and operated, wouldn't that help them identify fuckboys?
It would if they were receptive to it.
Very key.
That's really one of the main things and one of the hardest obstacles that I find before I started my page. Whether I'm talking to family members or it's somebody offline, the hardest thing is getting them to be receptive to what you're saying because everybody think that they perfect and
why do you think? I don't necessarily know what it is. I think just social media, that being my biggest platform. I think social media in general kind of breeds a lot of negativity because people can hide behind a keyboard and all that. And it's easy for people to attempt to discredit you or try to make you look or sound stupid online. Like they can twist what you said, they can change the kind. But what about this? You know what I'm saying? Like they can do that online where if they were sitting right here, you're not going to be able to sit here and say something. Tell me I said something that was totally stupid that I clearly didn't say. You know what I mean? Like, they can do things that you wouldn't be able to do in real life. And so that's what I see that I think I do a pretty good job of combating it because I can always come with the definition of, oh, you're sexist, or you're this. You know what I'm saying? And I can be like, well, sexist means that you feel one sex is superior. I don't feel like men are superior to, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. I've seen it on your
page. So you see the kind of rhetoric or the routine that I go through when I deal with that. But in real life, it's a lot easier. But like you said, a lot of people are resistant to it. I saw a lot of those same things from aunts, from cousins, where I'd be like, you tell them exactly what to do and how to handle a situation. They do the total opposite. They come to you crying and wanting you to feel like sympathy and be like, like, man, what you expect to happen?
And they always come back later and say, you were exactly right. And I'm telling you, you know what I mean? I'm telling you what a F-boy do. I'm telling you because I did it. That's why I created this page. Like, I could spot one a mile away.
Okay, so let's define a fuckboy. Now, my definition is pretty vague. I define a fuckboy as any dude that intentionally lies and deceives women to get what he wants out of them.
Which is
well, it could be money.
Most of the time.
Most of the time it's sex, but you can be getting money. You can be trying to get a job. You can be trying to get a place to stay. Trying to get a car to drive. Like, women can provide a lot of different things depending on what you bring to the table yourself as a man.
Right.
And so men that lie and deceive women, like an example of a fuckboy. The married man that takes his wedding ring off to go hang out and go party. Like, that's fuckboy behavior to me. Because you're giving the impression that you're single when you clearly married. Now, that's very different than a married dude that's like, man, I'm married. You know what I'm saying? Like, a married man to tell you his situation and let you know what's up, that's not the same thing as the dude that misled you.
No.
You know what I mean? Like, so the term just gets thrown everywhere,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, in all type of situations. Yeah. But to me, that's very different. A man that's being authentic with you and presenting you with his real situation, that's not a fuckboy to me.
No.
Well, how would you define?
I got the same definition. And I used to do it. Like, I used to lie. You know, I was young. You know what I mean? I'm 18, 19. I didn't really know the game or how to maneuver through it like that, so I felt like I had to lie. And so I would just...
What kind of stuff would you lie about? Like, give what do you mean?
Money. Because,
so
you
you
know,
would lead them to believe you had money?
Yeah, I was fresh in my career, but I made it look like I had money, though. You know what I'm saying? I had rims on my car. I had all the latest clothes. But I was broke. So, you know what I mean? I would appear like I had money and get them a little something. And before they knew it, I done smashed. You know what I'm saying? And then they like, man, you stay in a 1-bedroom with no bed? What you sleeping on? And by that time, it was over and done with. So, I mean, I used to lie about the stuff because that's what I felt like I had to do. But, you know, after, you know, a couple years of that, I would say 18, 19, and 20, when I really got established in my career and started making money and having money for real to where I was able to have certain things and be fortunate, I stopped lying. It wasn't no point. But I want to say this. Y'all gave me everything I needed to lie to you. Y'all told me everything. Oh, I like a dude that take me to Roof Chris. Okay, I'm going to save up my money. We going to Roof Chris first day. I got you. Bang, just like that. It was easy.
You fulfill the dream.
Yep. Yeah, just tell them everything you told me. Y'all tell us too much. You tell me everything, I'm going to flip it because I know that's what you want. I want 4 kids. She want 4 kids. Then we go out, you know, I think I want about 4. Oh, really? Man, this here is the one. And I'm like, I want 4 kids, man. You know what I'm saying? We use everything, and that's what that type of dude do. He use everything against you that you give him. That's why y'all should be really a better listener when y'all go out on dates instead of talking and telling them everything, because those type of dudes will use that stuff against you, man, real quick.
Yeah, I always thought that was whack to do that. If it's inauthentic, that's a kind of a tricky area, because what you described is also a part of being a very good communicator.
It is.
A man that pays attention to the things women talk about. You told him that you was a dancer in high school, or you was a cheerleader, or you ran track, and he remembers key pieces of information that you mentioned to him and brings it up in other topics or asks follow-up questions. Those are the things that make women like talking to you. You know what I'm saying? Look forward to talking to you. Right. That's different than intentionally deceiving a
motive.
Woman. Right. Now, if you just being authentic, a woman tell you she want 4 kids, you're like, man, I don't know, I really want 1 or 2. Like you said, there's no real reason to lie except to feed her the dream and fast forward the process.
That's
you know what I'm saying? But once you get to a point where like the difference, like what you were talking about, your fuckboy years, those in my life, that was my Army years. I went to the Army at 17 and got out at 20, and then I went to college. And so when you were living in a 1-bedroom shack, I was living in a barracks, essentially in the same kind of predicament. Free water, free lights, but it gives you the ability to say, I'm taking care of myself. My parents don't pay. I pay my car note, my bills, whoop, and it gives you a sense of manhood. You know what I mean? And it kind of put me in a game to where I was viewed as a man by other women.
Right.
And so I guess I never had to really do the fuckboy shit, because shit, being a 17-year-old in the Army, just your story like, man, I'm 18, I take care of myself, that in itself will get you in the door with a woman that finds you attractive. You know what I mean? Like, so.
And I don't think I really had to do it, because I had my own place. It just wasn't a good place. It was just somewhere to lay my head. And back then, you talking 99, 2000. You really didn't need all this stuff that you need now. Back then with younger chicks like that. You didn't need all that stuff. But I did it anyway, because that's what I thought in my head that's what I had to do. So really, that's what it was, more than anything. But that's part of growing up. It's part of the growing process, man.
Yeah, being authentic with women is so much. It comes with so much more rewards. When you can show a woman that the things that you say and the things you actually do actually really line up, it gives you so much credibility. You know what I mean? And it makes you more desirable.
Mm-hmm.
You don't have to flex for the gram. You can be honest about what your financial state is if you really got a decent job and you really living a decent life without flexing for the gram, without trying to put on a show. Like when you can actually show your actual lifestyle, like you good. You know what I'm saying? Like that's really should be good enough. And if you secure in yourself and you got the self confidence to kind of do that without playing games or trying to keep up with the Joneses, you'll have success. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Date women that are on your level. Date women that value the same kind of things that you do, and you should be straight.
Yeah. So now, like back then, especially once I got into my player years, I was real flashy with a lot of stuff, my cars, all that stuff. Now, man, you don't find none of that on my Instagram. Like if you don't know that I ain't broke by looking at me, you ain't gonna know nothing. You ain't gonna know what I got because that ain't what I use to get women. Like that's not how I go about what I do. You gonna get the authentic me, not all this other stuff. You gonna see what it is if you get a chance to see. Other than that, you ain't gonna know nothing about it.
That's what's up. Let's switch gears real quick. One thing that one topic of conversation that I have with women that ruffles a couple of feathers, but I think that a lot of women don't really have the true context on the situation. Is when how difficult it is for a woman to find another quality man or replace a quality man compared to how it is for a quality man to replace a quality woman. What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's 100 times harder for a woman to find a quality man, and it's really sheer numbers alone put y'all at a major disadvantage because you got so many dudes that's gay, you got so many dudes that's locked up, and then you got so many dudes that's not attractive that you really don't like, that ain't doing nothing. So that
percentage that y'all want is real small.
That puts y'all at a major disadvantage. Whereas a guy, y'all outnumber us anyway, without all of that other stuff factored in, without the lesbians and all this other stuff. Y'all outnumber us so much anyway. So
True.
And it's so many more women looking for a quality man than
willing to settle down,
right.
Willing to get in a relationship.
Right. There's so many more women doing that it's a lot easier for a dude to find a woman like that that's quality. And it's that's why y'all have to adjust how you all deal with certain men. You can't deal with everybody the same. Y'all used to deal with 80-90% F-boys and players, right? So then when you get with that dude that's not that,
together,
y'all treat them the same way a lot of times. You know what I'm saying? Because that's what you're used to. So y'all have to recognize that and adjust certain things in your methods and your strategies and the way that you do certain things, which is what I appreciated about his page before I even started my own, even thought about it. His is kind of like giving y'all a manual to do certain things, and you just have to apply it. So
yeah, I mean, because
really what it is.
When you're dealing with a quality man, right? Like what does that look like from a overall perspective, right? So for women in general, most women spend their whole life dating one guy or maybe a couple of guys, but typically having sex with primarily one. So almost all women spend majority of their life being monogamous or single. Where compared to a lot of men, the men that we're talking about in this category where they're successful, where they meet my definition of quality man, a lot of those guys have been fucking several women for years, from their high school years to their college years to their careers to their 30s and 40s. They're used to sleeping with multiple women at one time. Mm-hmm. And so when you put the context of getting in a committed relationship in perspective for each individual, is drastically different. For a man, he's changing up what he normally does, what he normally pays attention to, how he normally interacts with other women. Women don't have to interact with other men in any special way to be able to get dick or get attention. They just have to be themselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so they don't have to have strategies to market themselves or make themselves appeal to women or to the opposite sex outside of making sure your hair is combed, making sure you don't look a mess. You know what I'm saying? Like,
feet is done.
but even women don't have to do much to get the attention or to be able to have at least a small number of men to choose from. Like, a man that don't have his shit together is going to have a 0. He's going to be going over. He's going to have no women that are interested in him unless he starts to make some changes. And so my perspective on women is like, man, the stuff that they're doing that creates conflicts with quality men, they should be, to me, if you're doing something or you think in a way that's going to cause conflict with the type of person you want to be with, then there's a problem with that behavior. If you think and operate in a way that's going to create conflict with the type of woman that you know what's going to create conflict? Fucking multiple women. So what does the man consciously try to do? Try to be faithful. See how that's a man putting a massive amount of effort into changing his behaviors and to make it more conducive for a relationship. Women have to do the same thing. And so a lot of the ways that they handle conflict with men, with the emotional rants, with even because from a male perspective, we know you got to sit there and shut up and listen. You know what I'm saying? Like, you got to let her say what she's going to say. And then when you get your opportunity to say what you're trying to say, oh, it's you making an excuse. Like, you get cut off 10 seconds into your explanation, even though she didn't ask you 2 or 3 questions and, you know what I'm saying? Like, accused you of stuff, misquoted you. That's 3 minutes worth of stuff that you got to correct and redirect before you can really express how you're really feeling about the situation. And a lot of men just don't have that communication capacity. They're like, man, fuck this. I'm finna go roll another blunt. I'm finna go to my side chick's house. Like, they don't want to even put forth the effort to get through a lot of issues because of how things typically go.
Right, and I want to say, since I've became a quality man, right, that I've cut women off for a lot of different things, man, and they just don't get it. Like, with certain things, man, like, I lost my train of thought real quick. It was something that I was going to say, and I lost that train of thought, so we're going to edit that out. Oh, you can edit that one out. God, dog, what was I finna say?
You cutting off women for them just not getting it.
I had it in my head, too.
Well, man, a lot of women don't really get it. They don't have the perspective. Like, a lot of the things they think about men are assumptions or narratives that have been passed down to them, and they're false. You know, so I spend a lot of time trying to correct those type of things. Like, man, yeah, we care about sex, but that's not the only thing we care about in our lives. You know what I'm saying? Like,
right.
You got to bring more than a cute face, a big booty, and some pussy to the table in order to keep a man that's going to be bringing all the stuff that you expect to the table. And, you know, I see all these philosophies where they trying to teach women how to get the bag and get a man that's going to pay for all their bills and all this type of stuff. Like, those type of strategies are not going to work with men that are experienced with women and have been dealing with women that trying to take their money their whole lives.
Right, and that's most of the dudes y'all really want those type of dudes. The attractive guy, the guy that's got it together, the quality guy. He done dealt with so many women along his years that it's gonna be hard to pull some of that stuff over on him. And back to my point, I got it now. So as a quality man, like, one thing, you know, I would cut women off for is insecurities, different things. You know what I'm saying? And
that's a major.
Yeah, and those insecurities come from somewhere else. Like, you meet me, and we get together, and I haven't done anything in this, you know, relationship, whatever it is we doing.
Start a clean slate.
Yeah, but I'm getting the backlash and all that stuff, all that baggage you done brought from these here old relationships and these dudes that done cheated on you, which is understandable. I get it. But a quality man is only going to deal with that so long before he be like, it's not worth it. Whereas a F-boy that's just trying to smash, he's going to deal with it until he smash and then he out. he gonna deal with it. He gonna put up with it because he like, hey,
temporary.
yeah, it is what it is. I'll deal with this messed up attitude, or
For a little while.
I'll deal with these insecurities, man, just so I can smash. And you think that he's all into you because he putting up with your bad attitude. And then he smash, he gone. So that's why y'all got to work on yourselves, man. And different
See, I
things,
never subscribed to that. Like,
yeah.
to me, it wasn't worth it. Like, I'd be like, man, I'd rather just fuck the chick that I don't have the problems with. Because I was never trying to fuck a chick just once. Like, if I'm trying to get to the point where we fucking, I want to do it often or several times. So the whole, I'm just gonna deal with some shit just to be able to hit and say you hit. Like, yeah, I know a lot of guys that did that, but to me, that was dumb. Like, man, why don't you just?
It all depended on the chick.
Yeah,
it all depended on the chick. Really, I mean,
Yeah,
really,
I
it was.
guess-
Like,
I guess.
if she
Yeah,
wasn't
right.
too cute, you know what I'm saying? Then it's just gonna be a one and done. Like, like Zion Williamson. You know what I mean? I'm be in and out. So it all depended on the chick. Like, if she was nice, then you gonna want to put that work in so she can come back. But you ain't gonna do stuff like that. But you know what I mean? If it's too much mental baggage you gotta deal with, man, I ain't dealing with none of that. So
Yeah.
that's the way that go.
All right, man. The last thing I wanted to talk about, there's been this cliche going out. This is gonna be a hot girl summer, where women are proclaiming that they finna live their best life and be hoes all summer and live like men, etc. Now, this topic comes up an awful lot, where women will tell us how they feel about sex. We want to make a man wait. We want to, keep your legs closed on one philosophy. And then they'll turn right around and say something like this, like hot girl summer, they want to fuck all summer and just be, carefree with
Hoes, right? Like men.
Yeah, just like men. So what are your thoughts on this whole...
If I was still in my player years, which a lot of guys are in those years, right? Y'all know it. A lot of dudes are in those player years. Come on with it, hoes. Come on with it.
Men
You want to be a hoe?
hoes.
You want to be a hoe? Just like the guys out here that sleep with anybody, no feelings with it. That's even better for the guys that's living like that. So most of the dudes y'all run into will welcome you with open arms, but don't get mad when you get treated like a hoe.
They not really built like that.
Don't get mad. Don't get mad when he smash, get your back wet, and then say, "Hey man, what you finna do?" Cause you ain't staying here. What you finna do? You know what I mean? So don't get mad when you get treated like a hoe. That's just what it is. So I think it's a bunch of nonsense, really.
Well, see, I think it's a reaction to to something that they're trying to kind of blame on men, and what they're blaming on men is the fact that being a hoe gets factored into a decision when a man decides whether he's gonna settle down with the chick or not. I know celebrities, wife strippers and thoughts and all that, but for most regular guys, they consider those type of things when they're choosing a woman. And reversely, a man being a hoe or sleeping with several women does not eliminate him for most women. In fact, it actually makes him more desirable to other women, because in order for a man to get a lot of pussy and be very successful with women, he has to have his shit together. The guys that get it established in their teens and keep it together for a long period of time typically have great careers when it comes to dating and women. You know what I mean? Like, so it's not luck. Men don't just get to have, unless they famous and an athlete, a famous person's son, or hit a lick and become hood rich or something to that effect. But for the average 9-to-5 guy, that is not the reality of it. So in order to become successful with women, you have to you put in work to develop skills that make you successful with those things.
And attractive to the women, but don't believe all this. All the hoes getting married. That's a bunch of nonsense. That's a bunch of nonsense. All the hoes got dudes, man. Look, I don't want no hoes. like if you coming around and you a hoe now, man, I don't want to be bothered with you. You know what I mean? But I don't know no quality man that wants a hoe. Like, that's a current hoe. You running around hoe. Like, no. Stop believing that, because Cardi B and Kim Kardashian got married. Man, you can't name me 10 quality. You can't name me 10 hoes that's done got married, but we can name 1,000,000, women, quality women that got married that weren't hoes. Your Michelle Obamas and all these here type of people. You know what I'm saying?
You know what's funny? Like I follow a lot of strippers and chicks like that. They're great to look at.
Yeah,
they look awesome.
Look at all day.
They can spark sexual fantasies. You can see clothes and all this type of outfits and they swag and all that. But I never look at those women and be like, man, I would love to be with her. No. I would love to have her be man, I can't imagine my wife's pussy showing up on my timeline.
Nope.
Or her and her thong twerking. I love looking at it, but so it makes me think like, man, I know all these strippers got somebody that they love or a dude that they wish they could be with. Like, do they really think that this is improving their chances of ending up with them? Like, to me, it's an exchange, obviously, for the financial benefit.
Yeah, I mean, to me, looking at pictures and all that stuff on Instagram for most men, especially quality men, like, we just look at it to look at it. It ain't no different than them going to the strip club. Ain't no different than looking at porn if you want to look at porn. It's just something to look at. But, you don't look at that and be like, oh, man,
I want to
marry this chick. Nah, that ain't the way that go. You know what I'm saying? So, that's another topic I should have put on the list. What's that? Liking pictures?
Nah. Making a decision to marry a chick.
Oh, okay. I will.
So in your eyes, I know you haven't been married yet. So from a single man's perspective in 2019, what are your idea of wife material? How do you categorize that?
Just a woman that handle her business for one. A woman that's fair, reasonable, not looking for a free ride. You know what I mean? Because like I said, I'm pretty fortunate, so I don't want a woman that's trying to leech off of me. Like, you know what I'm saying? If I know that you there for me, not looking for a free ride, I give you whatever you need. But if you coming to me like, with this here kind of like this new attitude,
deserve, I'm entitled.
Like, I ain't paying for this. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing this. Man, you can keep moving. Like, because I know that, you're there for you. You're not there for us. So, just, a woman with balanced thinking. It's hard to find a woman with balanced thinking, man, without the insecurities, without all of the drama. You know what I'm saying? It's hard to find. That's what I found the hardest. Once I got out of my player stage and really wanted to start dating, like that was the hardest thing, man, for me to find a woman that was a balanced thinker. A lot of them was pretty, you know what I mean, nice looking, but they were wacko, man, all nuts.
Their values, the materialistic stuff like that. Like that's one of the reasons why I got married so young. I was able to identify that my wife had the kind of mentality that you're talking about, like the woman that is willing to grind and work and help pay and support. You know what I mean? Like without having to want it. Like for example, like my father-in-law, he's a colonel, a retired colonel. So we was balling, you know what I'm saying? Like so when she went to college, he bought her a truck and she had money, she gave him a credit card. Was paying her insurance and everything. So then her sophomore year she became a bartender. She just calls her dad, hey, you ain't gotta pay my insurance no more. Like, just out the blue. Like, I can pay it myself. That's the type of shit where you be like, damn, you just voluntarily started paying your own bill when your dad told you he was going to pay it for you. Those are the type of things where you see that's what independent women look like. You know what I mean?
And there was a post up, and you might have posted it, where the girl was saying, my man pay for dinner, I get the tip. My man do this, I do that. Right? And it's the thinking, right, that a quality dude, you know what I'm saying? Me personally, a lot of quality men gonna be like, man, I don't expect you to pay for anything. I don't expect you to get the popcorn if I buy the tickets. I don't expect you to get the tip if I buy it. But if you come out your mouth and say, man, hold on, how much was the bill? Here, let me give you the tip. 9 out of 10, I'm gonna say, I got it. It's cool. But in my head, I'm thinking like, you know what I mean? That's a woman that's really about us and the connection, and not just about what she can get. She's trying to, hold her own. She don't want to hand out.
Yeah.
And them the women that get everything. You don't want to hand out? I get
Man,
it to you.
those are the kind of women that you can really build with. Because
Right.
if you bringing something significant to the table,
Yeah.
and you got a woman that's career oriented or ambitious or trying to live her best life, whatever, she could be painting, she could be making stuff, whatever she's doing. If she has the ambition where she's trying to grow and establish something, then if you get with somebody quality, this is the part that a lot of people miss. The whole point is to be able to pool your resources and build both of you. So if you do get with a baller, instead of being focused on getting the bags and shoes, get with the motherfucker that can help you establish a business. That can help you establish some credit. That can help you start creating some lines of income. That's the difference. Like, there's nothing wrong with trying to find a dude that got his shit together.
Right.
But your motives for doing it,
Yeah.
so you can buy some red bottoms to show on the gram, so you can go on a trip to take some pictures. That's fucking stupid. You know what I'm saying? That's the stupid part. If you're doing it, if I want to be with a man that's an entrepreneur, so that he can show me how to run a business, so that we can be business like, that's where you become the power couple, and you get the kind of life that you want. But you have to be trying to figure out what you bring to the table can get magnified if you combine it with your partner. And I don't think a lot of people approach marriage or dating like that.
It's the motive and attitude that'll get me to cut you off quick, man. I mean, real quick. I get rid of you. Your motive and attitude. I ain't paying for that. I don't do that. Okay, cool. You know what I mean? It's the attitude. I don't need you to pay for anything. I don't need you to do anything. But I need you to have I want you to have a good, reasonable, a good attitude, a good mindset, a balanced mindset, because this ain't no one-way street. I got too much to lose. I ain't gonna be bothered with you. So if you ain't coming with that, I ain't gonna be bothered with you. And that's a lot of quality men, though. That's why y'all gotta be balanced. Everybody, men and women.
Trying to talk women and get them to understand the things that they do to get themselves cut off by quality men.
Yeah.
So hopefully, ladies, y'all will learn something and be able to pick up from the nuggets and the gems that we dropped. Lay back, man. Let them know your information again before we get out of here, so they can reach you and follow your pages.
So my main page is laidback38_. And then my advice page is what_he_really_means. What he really means. So I'm from Chicago. That's pretty much what it is.
All right, man. This has been a real quality man discussion. I appreciate you again, man. Thanks for tuning in. Make sure those y'all that are watching, join my Patreon page, subscribe to my YouTube channel, and go follow my boy on Instagram. It's your boy Terry Duran, trying to bring y'all some content, help y'all get on the right path. Thanks for tuning in.
Later.